A human rights lawyer, Ihvbe Effiong, jailed by the Chief Judge of Akwa Ibom State, Justice Ekait Obot, has been freed after 1 month imprisonment. Effiong, who announced his release on Friday in a Facebook post, said, "Oppressors can't break his spirit with imprisonment. I am back stronger and more determined to confront the forces of oppression and to continue to speak nothing but the hard truth to the faces of the oppressors of our people. I feel sorry for those who thought they can break my spirit by incarcerating me," he wrote. According to reports, Justice Obot on July 27th jailed Effiong 1 month for contempt of court in Feshikuri after the lawyer reportedly protested against the presence of armed policemen in court. The judge had sentenced the lawyer to the Ihvbe Correctional Center, but Effiong was reportedly moved to the Uyo Correctional Center. Effiong was in court to defend a colleague, Ihvbe, in a libel suit filed by the governor of Akwa Ibom, Udom Emmanuel. A senior lawyer, Femi Falana, SAN, on August 17th, filed a suit against Justice Obot over the alleged violation of Effiong's fundamental rights. Falana had also protested the horrendous humiliation meted out to Effiong before inmates. The brutal torture meted out to Ihvbe by the prison officials in Akwa Ibom State constitutes a violent violation of his fundamental right to dignity guaranteed by Section 34 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, and Article 5 of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights Ratification and Enforcement Act, Cap. A9 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004. It is painful to note that the unprovoked violence unleashed on Ihvbe is a sad reminder of the case of Mine Amakri, then a reporter with Nigerian Observer, the old Bender State-owned newspapers, whose head was shaved with a broken bottle in 1973 on the orders of Alfred J. Spiff, the then military governor of the state. Apart from challenging the egregious infringement of the fundamental right of Ihvbe to the dignity of his person and fair hearing, we shall press for the prosecution of the officials who inflicted torture on him contrary to the provision of Section 2 of the Anti-Torture Act of 2017. The penalty for the offense of inflicting torture on any person in Nigeria is 25 years imprisonment without any option of fine, Falana said.
Jonathan Abang Ogbai. Ogbai, okay.
Yes, that's me.
You see some of that time?
God bless the leader. I'm so sorry because of the conference.
I've been told.
Yes, but
Okay, for how many people?
for 11.
The remaining,
Okay.
Auntie, uncle, good morning. Don't worry. Let me give you a Bible. Oh. Okay, go back to the phone, maybe. Okay, that's all what I want. Phone. Get my iPhone number.
We have taken charge of this whole thing. Nothing is up again. Anyway,
I'm not begging for this. What I mean is. Driving under emotion.
The council.
Thank you.
Come through from the from don't
Please, who can I refer? Please, silent. I don't like.
Okay. Watch your back. Watch your back. Watch your back, sir.
Is it showing?
Yes, it's showing.
go front. Okay, fast back. Yeah.
Good morning, sir. How are you, sir?
Come on, sir.
Thank you for the security coverage. Thank you.
It's finished. It's finished. You have to do it. It's finished. You have to.
No, I don't spoil your own.
Freedom come, by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come, by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come. Freedom come, by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come. Freedom come, by struggle. Freedom come, by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come. Freedom come, by struggle. Freedom come, by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come. Freedom come, by struggle. Freedom come, by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come. Freedom come, by struggle. Freedom come, by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come. Freedom come, by struggle. Freedom come, by struggle, by struggle. Freedom. Ihvbe got it by struggle. Freedom come, by struggle, by struggle. Freedom. Ihvbe got it by struggle. Freedom come, by struggle, by struggle. Freedom. Ihvbe got it by struggle. Freedom come, by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come. Freedom come by struggle. Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come. Freedom come by struggle. Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom. Ihvbe got it by struggle. Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom. Ihvbe got it by struggle. Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come. Gani got it by struggle. Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come. Sankara got it by struggle. Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come. Mandela got it by struggle.
Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come.
Solari got it by struggle.
Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come.
Freedom come by struggle.
Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come.
Freedom come by struggle.
Freedom
By struggle, by struggle. Ihvbe got it by struggle. By struggle, by struggle.
freedom come.
Freedom come by struggle.
Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come. 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 Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come.
Freedom come by struggle.
Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come.
Freedom come by struggle.
Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come.
Freedom come by struggle.
Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come.
Freedom come by struggle.
Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come.
Freedom come by struggle.
Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come.
Freedom come by struggle.
Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come. By struggle, by struggle. Freedom come. Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come. Freedom come by struggle, by struggle. Freedom come.
Of the greatest Nigerian people. Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria's follow me to serve our father's land with love and strength and faith. The name of our heroes shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and mind, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity. I want to thank God Almighty, the one who said that He knew me before I was formed in the womb.
Bring down the mic.
The one who said that He had consecrated me and that He had appointed us as a prophet to the nations. I thank that God for making today to be possible. For me, like I've always said, history will vindicate the just. Well, I have just finished my 1 month appointment with Destiny. I came to the custodial center to follow the path of my ancestors, the Gadifa myth of this world, and those who, over the years, have had to sacrifice their personal comfort in order to defend their convictions. For me, and for those who came to visit me throughout my period of incarceration, you would have left with one clear message, that I was totally unbothered, totally unmoved, and not perturbed. I considered it an honor to be incarcerated for standing by the truth. I want to extend my appreciation to my family. They have been solidly behind me. I want to thank the Nigerian Bar Association, the Olumide Akpata-led administration, and all lawyers of conscience in this country who, even without having an opportunity to hear very clearly from me, believed in my innocence, stood by my convictions, and fought to vindicate me. I must also thank Mr. Femi Falana, my lead counsel, the other senior advocates, and of course, even members of the MBA leadership who are also part of my legal team. My very own bosom friend and brother Augustine Asukwo, who is standing beside me, and every lawyer that has been part of my legal team for standing solidly behind me. Again, I must also thank the Nigerian civil society and the human rights community for standing by one of their own. But I will not fail to appreciate my friends in the media, the fourth estate of the realm, who have taken it upon themselves to take the truth to all the four corners of this world. And I thank consensual Nigerians, consensual Akwa Ibomites, and every single person that has spoken out in my defense to demand my freedom in the last 1 month. Well, you would have heard that I was convicted for contempt of court. But I might just be maybe the only person who had to be remanded as the lawyer, at least currently in this country, and was said to have been convicted without any charge preferred against him, without an opportunity to take a plea, without his offense even being disclosed, or any of the principles of fair hearing being accorded him. So for me, it is a great honor. It is a great honor to have passed through this road. But let me state it clearly and unequivocally that why I am grateful to God for this experience, because as you may have seen yourself, this has only strengthened me, this has only fortified me, and I can only feel sorry for those who thought they can break me by this incarceration. Because the Ihvbe that has just come out of incarceration is beaming with fire. It's beaming with fire to fight for the common people of this country. And no oppressor can quench that fire. But let us not be mistaken. I never, and I say this as a child of God, you can see, while in incarceration, I had the Bible as my companion, and I had Long Walk to Freedom as my friend. And these are the books that have kept me active for the last 1 month. So I say it as a child of God, that I never at any time pointed my hand at the Honorable Chief Judge of Akwa Ibom. I never at any time banged at any table. I never at any time shouted at the court. These accusations only came to me while I was in incarceration. But you know, deception and lies may prevail for a while.
Yes.
But there are two judges that no man can deceive. The judge of heaven and the judge of conscience.
Yes.
The Honorable Chief Judge of Akwa Ibom, whose office I respect, knows in her conscience that I never acted in any insolent manner, that I never disrespected the court. All I did on the 27th of July, when I announced my appearance along with my colleague Augustine to defend my client Ihvbe, was simply to raise two fundamental observations. That I feel that every judicial officer in this country, with profound respect, and that every legal practitioner in this country should pay attention to. Namely, one, because when we arrived at the court, my Lord had announced clearly that today his Lordship was coming in with anger, and that my Lord will not tolerate nonsense from anybody. And because we knew the antecedents of this matter, we have always accorded the court absolute respect. And then we announced appearances. In fact, even before we announced appearances, my Lord ordered the orderly to invite into the courtroom 2 armed mobile policemen. I am not against policemen being within the court. I want to be understood clearly. Because the judiciary cannot function without the aid of the police. The police is an integral part of the administration of justice. And then I reminded the court when the policemen arrived that, my lord, there is a pending application for recusal, urging my lord to disqualify himself from this case on grounds of bias or likelihood of bias, which application we filed on the 23rd day of June 2022. And of course, as it has been, my lord shouted me down and I rested the issue and said that the court will take that application whenever the court deems fit. And of course, my lord ordered that the continuation of cross-examination should continue. And a certain witness for the governor, one Richard Peter, that is the name he gave the court, entered the door. And I started cross-examination. I was on about the second or third question. But the third question, when my lord furiously, and I said that with all sense of respect to the court, ordered a certain savior, a reporter with Premium Times, to stand up. And he stood up. And my lord asked him, who are you? And he said he was an observer. My lord said, who are you to observe the court? Are you a party to this case? He said, no, my lord, I am a journalist. My lord asked, are you a government journalist? And he said, no, I work with Premium Times. Hell was let loose. What I witnessed was unprecedented in my young and little years of practice for the 8 years I've been practicing as a lawyer. My lord ordered his phone to be seized and the policemen to take him away. I had a responsibility, having been called to the Nigerian bar, having taken that solemn oath to defend the constitution of this country, and being myself an advocate of press freedom, and of course a citizen who knows what is and what is not right, to speak out. And I stood up. I did not confront the court. And I said, my lord, with profound respect, that section 36 of the Constitution guarantees publicity of trial and provides that court proceedings shall be held in public. I was not even shouting at the court. I was urging my lord. I said, my lord, that I had thought that in view of that constitutional provision, that members of the public, including journalists, should be free to access the court and observe proceedings. And of course, my lord didn't accept that. Well, maybe that was my offense. I did not give up. You know, I still urged the court, and then my lord said, except you are the one who brought him to tarnish my hard-earned reputation. So I saw the issue had become very personal. So I rested the issue. I didn't argue. So those who say, oh, he said, if you don't bring in the journalists, those are, the court knows that never happened. No such utterances was made by me. And then I was about to start my cross-examination, and I turned back. Again, I saw 2 armed policemen with AK-47. One to my right, one to my left. This had created so much hostility. And I said, my lord, I have also observed the presence of 2 armed policemen in court. My lord, even though I am ordinarily not intimidated by their presence, but by their being here with arms seated behind me, they had created hostility in the court, which had made it uncomfortable for me and difficult for me to proceed with the proceeding. And I pleaded with the court to excuse them. My lord didn't accept our plea. Again, maybe that was my offense. I did not give up, because I have a duty as a lawyer to defend the cause of justice. And I said, my lord, respectfully, I am now making it as a formal application, in which case your lordship would have to render a decision. And I said, however, if your lordship overrules me, I will be bound by the order of the court and I will proceed with my cross-examination. At that point, my lord picked pen. My lord started writing. You know, as a lawyer, when you are addressing the court and the court is writing, you are excited that the court is taking note of what you are saying. Unknown to me, I thought my lord was writing what I was saying, not knowing it was my committal order to prison. The next thing I heard was, will you just step out of the bar? I stepped out of the bar. I did not fight. I stepped out. And then my lord said, derobe yourself. And I must also say again that I did not derobe immediately. I must play the record as it is. Because I cannot derobe as a lawyer in court. if I don't know, a reason has not been given why I should be derobed. It is like taking away my call to birth certificate. I said, my Lord, if I derobe, I can no longer address your Lordship as counsel. My Lord said, you are no longer a lawyer. I no longer recognize you because I'm sending you to prison. I didn't believe it. The next thing my Lord said was, my Lord read what my Lord had already written. You are hereby sentenced to 1 month imprisonment to be remanded at the correctional center until you purge yourself of contempt. And then I had removed my wig. I just stood there, and then my Lord ordered the 2 armed policemen, hold him, make sure he does not leave. Hold him, make sure he does not escape. And I told the policeman, even if I escape, people outside will know that I'm the one that is running. And where will I run to? Where in Akwa Ibom will I hide? So I told them, look, I don't have a problem. I'll follow you to prison. I will not be the first. All that I have told you is all that transpired. So those who say Ihvbe does not know how to say as the court pleases, Ihvbe was disrespecting the court, these are lies. And I say that on my honor. And I'm using this opportunity to publicly urge and appeal to my Lord, the Honorable Chief Judge of Akwa Ibom State, my Lord, the Honorable Justice Effiong, to please release the closed-circuit television camera, the CCTV of that day. Because I know there is, I'm aware, to the best of my knowledge, that there is CCTV inside that courtroom. My Lord, the Chief Judge's court. Let all lawyers in Nigeria see when Ihvbe pointed at the Honorable Chief Judge. Let them also see when Ihvbe banged at the table. Even if I was the most insolent lawyer in Nigeria, you do not have to scandalize my name and attribute to me a conduct that never took place in court, just to justify what is clearly unjustified. So what I have told you is the truth. Any account outside what I have told you is a lie, and it will remain a lie forever.
Okay, Counsel, you've given us an account. Tell us your experience in the prison. We understand you freed some people, some inmates in the prison.
Yes, I can announce to you that I have taken steps to secure the release of 17 inmates.
Wow.
17 at the Uyo Custodial Center. In fact, one left last night. The others would have come, but you know, the authorities were concerned that people were gathering too much, so I couldn't wait. I was supposed to come out with them. And that had, we had to spend a significant and substantial amount of money to make that happen. These are people who were admitted to bail at magistrate courts. They had nobody to take them on bail, and they were there. In fact, the young man who left yesterday was admitted to bail. Subsequently, his charge was struck out. The court did not come to inform the prison, the custodial center. And he was just there. So it was until the person I asked to go and perfect his bail went to court yesterday. That was when they now came to secure his release. So this is someone that had no business in the first place to be in detention. This shows you how bad the system is. So the remaining 17, I'm hopeful before the end of today they will be out. And I am doing that to also let people know that the criminal justice system in Akwa Ibom and Nigeria as a whole needs to be revisited. There are a lot of innocent people that are there. The society may condemn all of them as criminals. But if there was any doubt that I had as a lawyer that innocent people can be sentenced, my experience, I am now a witness of truth. From my own experience, having been sent to prison with no offense disclosed, without any misconduct, that there are innocent people there. Well, the prison life is one I have always been prepared for. That is why I laugh at those who were celebrating my incarceration. I've always been prepared. I knew this was inevitable. Because you do not consistently fight those who are oppressing our people, and you do not expect to be incarcerated. Life in the prison is a different life entirely. These are the abandoned citizens of Nigeria. They have been abandoned by the federal government of Nigeria. They have been abandoned by the Akwa Ibom State government. As a matter of fact, I have also undertaken to take up cases of some of the inmates. And in the coming days, you will get to learn of some of these very pathetic cases. For me, all I needed to do was just to adjust to the environment. Right? You know, there are so many things I had to adjust to. But get this clear. If I've ever had sound sleep in my life, it was while I was in prison.
What
I
about
had
your
the opportunity of sleeping for not less than 8 hours a day. I don't have that in Lagos. So I must also thank my Lord for this very well-deserved vacation.
What about your
I'm
transfer
grateful to the Chief Judge of Akwa Ibom. And you may think it's funny, but the day I arrived here, when they brought me here from because they went on the 10th of this month, I went to the clinic and then to check my weight. I was weighing 60 something. When I'm leaving, I'm 70 something. You know, so that shows that I was never bothered while I was in incarceration. That is why I pity those who say, oh, when he come out, he will not speak again. The voice they so hate is now louder. It is now louder.
Comrade, we understand you. When you were... He's standing for a while. He needs to rest. He has given all the...
About the torture, the mistreatment.
Now, I know there is one issue that everybody wants me to address. You would have seen some difference in the way I look. Now, you know, I must also make this clear to you that that issue is going to be addressed, not today. Not out of fear, but I can assure you that issue will be addressed. So I would just plead with you to allow me at this time not talk about it. Thank you very much.
So thank you, our viewers out there. It's been wonderful having you around. Don't forget that you can visit crossriverwatch.com for more details about what has happened and the entire history of the case that led to the incarceration of Ihvbe Effiong. Also follow us on our social media channels on Facebook, Cross River Watch, on Twitter and Instagram, Cross River Watch. Not forgetting on YouTube as well, Cross River Watch Television. I have been Jonathan Akwa. It's my honor.